Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. I'm mostly Darklink, and what I have today for you guys are a series of cactus farms. I have three different ones here for you. I'm only going to be showing you guys how to make this bigger one, and that's because this is the one that I prefer. But I do at least want to cover these two with you because they are two of the more popular ones that you'll find here on YouTube if you're looking up cactus farms and go over the pros and cons and exactly how cactus farms work for you. Go ahead, get into it. All right. So cactus farms, these are nothing new. These have been around for ages at this point, but there are a couple of different styles you could do. This one here is probably the smallest, most practical one you can build. As you can see, it's just 4 pieces of cacti and a couple fences, and we got some water here carrying everything to this hopper. It is very easy to build. All you do is you make this square, you put the water in that corner, and then this corner here is where there'll be no water. You dig that out and you put your hopper in your chest there. Now, the way cactus farms work is when the cactus grows, as soon as it touches these fence posts, it's going to break because you cannot have anything next to a cactus. And that works out in our favor. So whenever the cactus grows, it automatically breaks and it just goes straight to a hopper, allowing us to build these kind of farms with little to no redstone at all. In fact, none of these have any redstone. So if you get intimidated by redstone easily, don't gotta worry about it with cactus farms. Now, one thing that I like to do with mine is, if you notice, I have this little wall up around them. If you make your wall as high as the cactus, that helps make sure that when the cactus breaks, it's not going to get stuck on anything other than possibly sometimes it'll get stuck on the sand that it's on, but it reduces the amount of loss you have as long as you got this wall up as high as the cactus. And you'll notice I did the same thing here and over here. I made it as high as the cactus. Next farm that I have for you guys is this one. So this one here is a 13 by 13 cactus farm. So we got 4 by 4 of cactus here. So 16. And the way it works is very similar. The exception is, instead of coming here to a corner with the hopper, everything's being funneled here to the center. So the way this is built is you put water buckets in each corner, and then in the center here it'll be dry, and you knock that out, you put your hopper in, and then wherever you want your chest, you're going to have to build a hopper line from the center all the way to that, or if you have an item sorting system, to that. This one is a lot more efficient than this one due to just the fact that it's a lot bigger. The reason I don't particularly like this one is because our collection system is in the very center of the farm, and it makes it a little bit more annoying to deal with. Not too much more, but I just don't like having to build a much longer hopper line than I have to, and I don't like having to dig out more underneath my farms than needed as well. But otherwise, this, oh, you can see it working there. This one is a lot more efficient, and if you are just playing by yourself, this will be just fine. Honestly, this one could be just fine too, because any of these 3 farms, you can build it vertically as high as you want. And all you do is you just build the same thing that you have here, just on top, going straight up. So if you were to do it, all you would need to do is right above, just build the same thing exactly like this, and then have the fence posts coming off the same exact way that you do. You could do this way easier than I'm doing this right now. I'm doing this the most difficult way possible. But have the same exact thing just mirrored up here. You just make sure that it's clear to go down. The only issue you're going to have is occasionally you'll have drops get stuck on top of these fences. You can mitigate that if you'd like by connecting. Actually, no, you can't connect because it'll break your cactus. So that's just a thing that you'll have to accept if you build it straight up. It's honestly not that big of a deal. Either of these will get you where you want, but this one right here, the reason I like this one is because it doesn't have that hopper line I was talking about. It funnels everything here to the front, or what I made the front, and is just a little bit bigger than that one, just enough so that this one is a lot more efficient. And this is honestly all you really need if you're by yourself. If you're on a big server or realm, double or triple this up, and that's all you'll need. But this one, the way it works is we got a 15 by 15 square here, and all we have is 2 water buckets, one there, one there, and we have the ground dug out here right where the water's edge is, so that way it continues to flow. And then we do the same thing here, and what that does is it creates a little channel down the middle that forces everything to this one point. So all we have to do is have 2 hoppers here, and then we have our item collection system. So we don't have to have a long hopper line. We're just using water to get everything to where we want it to be. Now, as I said, these cactus farms have been around for a long time. I think this one here, we built this back in like, what, 2013, 14. So cactus farms have not changed in several years is what I'm getting at. And the reason for that is there's no reason. This is all you really need of them. So I'll go ahead and I will show you how to build this one specifically. Okay, so the materials you're going to need. You're going to need at least 56 building blocks. This is for the outside perimeter, as well as 112 glass. Now, you don't need to necessarily make this glass. You can just make it more of the same building material if you want different building material. I just like to be able to look into my farms, so I use glass. So you need at least this much material for your border. For the actual cactus farm itself, you need another 36 building material. This is what the sand is going to be on top of. And then 36 sand, 36 cactus, and then at least a stack of fences. Now, what we have, not at least, a stack of fences is more than enough. You need at least 30. What I have going on in my farms is a little overkill on the amount of fences. You don't need that many. I just like the way it looks. A stack of fences will get you it to look exactly how mine is, as well as give you plenty enough for extra building. I do also recommend having at least an extra stack of your building material to make things easier for you while you're building. You just need 2 hoppers and then 2 chests for the double chest, and then 2 buckets of water here. All right, so we're going to come out here, and we're going to mark off a perimeter, 15 by 15. And we're just going to go all the way around with it. Okay, next, we go ahead and go 2 up all the way around. So same thing. So now you should have a nice little box that looks like this. And next, you come here and we're going to dig out 1 all the way down. So go ahead, knock all of this out so that we're at least 1 down. And once we got that all knocked out, in each corner here, come place a bucket. And then your water should merge like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to knock out everywhere where the water ends. So right here where the water ends, go ahead and knock that out. We're going to form a little perimeter. Now we got our perimeter filled out. Everywhere that's dry, knock that down 1. Now we should have something that looks like this. And we're going to do the same thing 1 more time. So go ahead and knock out a perimeter like so. Now in the center here, this is where we're going to want our hoppers to be. So go ahead, just knock that out at least 1 more. Actually, we can knock this out 2 more. And we're just going to carry this all the way over. We don't have to go as far as we did here. Let's go ahead and knock this all out. And then right here is where we're going to have our chests. Let's go ahead and get that all in. So I like to have a nice little area. Come walk in. Put our chest here on the side like so. Now if you want, you can come fill back in underneath. Knocking it out was more just so we can have room to work. So if you want to fill it in, go ahead, fill that back in. If you want to have something that gets you down to the chest like so, I recommend doing that. Have something like that. And then we could come back to this side. If we come back down, we could put a hopper into the back of the chest and a hopper. If we hold shift, we'll drown. Hold shift, you can put a hopper to the back of the hopper. Probably would have been smarter to do that before we put the water in, but whatever, it works. So now we should have something that looks like this, and this is going to be our water system. So the whole collection system is now done. Now for the cactus, we're going to skip a block, and we're going to start like this. So we should have 1 block space all around. Now you could go about this a couple ways. You can either do this, break every other block, which will help remind you which ones are the ones to keep, which ones are not. Or you could just come in here, put it all in, stopping with 1 block there, and then come back and knock out the temporary blocks here. Up to you how you want to go about it. But right now we need to go ahead and get this whole area checkered with building blocks. So go ahead and get that done. Yeah, now we should have something that looks like this, a nice checkered pattern of all of our building blocks. I will say if you're doing this in survival, which I would assume that you are, because you don't really need a cactus farm in creative, scaffolding is going to be your friend here. Otherwise, you're going to be falling into this water a lot and you're going to be having a rather rough time. I recommend getting your scaffolding in order to get this done. But now we come and we put sand on top of each of our building blocks here. Once we have sand on everything, now we come and we put cactus on all the sand. All right, now we're almost done. The last thing we need to do is we need to get the fences in. So the easiest way is going to be just building off of our glass here. We're going to have one. And what we need is we need a fence post up one block, but next to each piece of cactus. So you can either go with the bit of excessive that I got going over there, which I did because it looks nice, or if you want to use the minimum amount of fences, as long as you come in like so, and pretty much just make a circle all the way around. So if you have a circle like this, and then you just come fill in like so all the way around, and then you can break out these middle ones like that. That is essentially the bare minimum amount of fences you need. If you want it to look the way that I have it, all you do is you connect it like so, and then you knock out the middle. So having it like that, and it'll create that nice pattern that I got going there. You don't need to do that. It's extra, but I do like the way that it looks, which is why I do it. So go ahead, get the fences in however you want, as long as, like I said, there is at least one fence post next to each cactus. You notice what I'm doing is once I have 4 linking up to a center, I'm knocking out that center. That just makes it easy for me to remember where I'm at. If you did the full pattern, we should have something like this. And that's it. Your cactus farm is now complete. Now, if you want to do an extra layer, then go ahead. You could build off of one of the fences on the top, and you're just going to do the same exact thing. So come every other, knock them out with some sand and then cactus. You're also going to want to build out your perimeter here so it's as high as the cactus. And this is again to prevent lossage on our perimeter here. And then you just come build off of that to get your fences in. And then you just want one fence next to each cactus. That's it. That's all you do. Yeah, I'm mostly Darklink. Thank you for watching. If you like this tutorial and want to see more, give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. Till next time, see ya.